on our stream, we're streaming right now, we reached our sub goal, another sub goal, a bid goal. We got some crazy bidders. Just a quick shout out to Teradi, Eris, and Ambient Discord. Teradi with the 4.5k bits, Iris and Ambient with 2.5, and everyone that that donated bits. Terra SS, yup, you fucking, you know it. But today we're gonna be doing our tier list, and it's gonna be for guards in ranked, where I think like I'm gonna be rating them from how hard can you like. Do you think you can carry? How much of an impact can you have on your ranked game? I will mention there are like SPL records and stuff as well, and how I just think the guard is in general. But if you're gonna see like assassin supports do better than guardians or something like that, that's probably gonna be because you have a higher carry potential, and if you play it well, you're probably gonna be a bigger impact on the game because it's ranked and it's not it's just straight up not like competitive play, right? So you didn't say your name. I'm sorry, Biscuit. So pretty much let's like getting into it here. I'm gonna pick all the guards that I have tried myself and that I think are viable. So just because Dardis played Acne support in SPL, I can't really rate that because I haven't tried that myself. So if you guys are gonna see some guards that you think can do well in the support role, but I haven't included them, that's basically gonna be because that I haven't tried them, and therefore I don't feel like I can give a good opinion on the guards. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get into it. We're just gonna dive right in. We're gonna start off with this bad boy, Achilles. Now I think Achilles is pretty insane. I think Achilles is a really good guard for ranked if you're playing support. Achilles is probably the highest pressure support right now. I think he even has higher pressure level 1 than Amaterasu. His passive helps him out with that. He has an insane like level 1 to 5. He really frags. And I feel like when you play Achilles support, you're either gonna do okay or you're just gonna smack the enemy team. So I think Achilles is gonna be probably S. We might even move him up to S plus. But for me, Achilles is this guard that is just in your face, and because ranked teams are not very like coordinated and stuff, and don't block Achilles all and don't really punish him, you can really get away with a lot on Achilles. If this was a competitive play, he'd probably be like A plus, A, maybe S minus or something like that, but I think he's S, maybe even S plus. We'll see as we get further into this tier list. Acne support, I'm sorry, no MC, no moves, Push support. Amy support is the next one. Now I think Amy is a great support in ranked as well. I do think what Amy lacks is that extra oomph, that extra damage, you know, and someone like Achilles can solo anyone, and I don't really think Amy has that. Amy needs someone to combo off her ult, and I think Amy plays better in competitive than in ranked in general, because she's this team fight guard, right? She's this late game guard that does okay early because she has a relatively good early game, kind of falls off a bit mid game if you don't have good communication. So I think for those reasons, Amaterasu, I'm gonna place her an A plus. I think she definitely does well. You guys can give all your recommendations in chat as well, by the way, boys. Just tell me what you think the guard is, okay? So I can discuss it with you guys in chat. But I think Amy is A plus, D minus. I think she does well. I think she's a bit above average in ranked. If it was SPL, I'd probably be A plus or A as well. She's just this very solid support you can pick if you kind of want pressure. Amy plays really well with the sprint, upgraded sprint. So does Achilles, which I think is a big point of why Amy's A plus as well, right? Because you can buy sprint 2 and you can just run down people, because Amaterasu is level 1. Maybe besides Achilles is just the best in the game, right? Unless you're playing Bellona. So yeah. Achilles stun is nutty. A super easy stun at that. Stun is no CC. No. Alright, let's move on. Afro, I'm not gonna include Afro support. I know you guys want it, but I just don't think it's a thing. And her support, no. Anubis, nope. Arachnia, nope. Eris. Alright. Now Eris is this really hit or miss guard, right? Like Eris is either you're gonna go like 8-0 and do a Dardis build where you go like Spear Magus and Pyfax or something like that, and you're just fragging, like you're literally farming. You wanna get to that point where you're unkillable. And I think Eris brings that, but on the other side, Eris can also get farmed really hard. And I think he's such a hit or miss guard if you get it. Eris is either gonna win you the game or lose you the game most of the time. Especially now that Gauntlet of Thebes is a thing as well, right? You don't really want to invest into Gauntlet of Thebes if you're Eris, because then you just kind of die when you're old. I think Eris is A or A plus, as you guys agreed with me in chat. I'm gonna place him in A. just because I feel like if I want to carry my ranked game, it's too hit or miss with Eris. It's too it's too like game specific. Like you need the denim team to pick some pretty good guys. But I think he's A for competitive. However, I think Eris is probably like A plus because your team can help you out a lot more. But in ranked, he's A. Now, what Eris has going for him is that he plays really well into some of the top meta picks right now, like Saket, Tough, and those kind of guys.
Yeah.
Mr. Casher, thank you so much for the sub. Welcome back to Ninja Army. Perfect. All right. So A on Eris, and we're gonna move on. Apollo, Arachne, Eris, Archo, next support. Now, I think Archo is actually a really, really good rank guard. I don't think Archo is very good in competitive. I think she does okay, but I feel like Archo just falls off hard. Wow, moving from A to A plus in competitive. Sick. Yeah, I know, Kenneth. So Archo probably S minus for me, honestly. I feel like she's one of those guards again where you can like honestly probably just carry a bit. You know, she does a lot of. She has a lot of good stuff going for her. She has a lot of abilities. Teams don't play, ranked players don't play very well around Archo. She again has the same counter as Eris, and I think she's also a bit hit and miss. But I think you're gonna hit a lot more with Archo than you are gonna do with the Eris, if that makes sense. So I think Archo is S minus. I do agree that Archo is a better solo for competitive possibly, but in ranked Archo, she frags, man. She really frags. It's easy to carry it as Baruchas mentions as well. Athena. Now, I just played an Athena game, and Athena's insane in ranked. Like, and you can argue like Athena should be even better in competitive, but the thing is, in ranked, people don't respect the taunt at all. Like, at all. Athena is so good, man. Like you can argue Athena's gonna be better in competitive or whatever because you can coordinate the ult, but if you just pay attention, you can still ult. And if you have a good mid laner, I feel like you can just play Athena and whatever mid laner you want, and you're just gonna frag like really hard. So I think Athena is actually S plus. I think Athena absolutely carries ranked games. You can have such a high impact. You peel really well. You do so much damage as well. I think S plus. I think it's slightly above Achilles. I think she frags, and that's mainly because I just had a ranked game where I just fragged. But I think she's really high up there. Remember, I don't think Athena's broken or anything. I just think she plays really well in ranked because people don't respect the taunt. Like in competitive, you're never gonna get a taunt off without dying. But in ranked, you're just taunting non-stop, you know. So I think S plus for Athena. Moving on to Bacchus. Now Bacchus is kind of funny, right? Because I think I'm just gonna slap Bacchus in where I think he belongs. I think Bacchus belongs in A. I think Bacchus is just the average support right now, right? Bacchus says we should do one of the guys in my chat had this idea that Bacchus also just execute. I think that's really good. I don't think Bacchus is A minus, and I don't think Bacchus is A minus because of the fact that you can go kind of damagey on Bacchus in ranked. And actually do your job really well. I do think in competitive you get really punished if you jump in as Bacchus, and he would probably be B or something. But when you play ranked, people are really bad at going on the same target, and people are really bad at respecting supports damage and like punishing supports. So I think Bacchus is A for me. I think he's just this very solid guard, and he does need some MP5 and stuff to get going for him, but he's always gonna be there. He's always gonna do his job. He has great base stats and so on. So I think Bacchus is A. I know some of you guys are saying A minus, but for ranked, I think he's A. Moving on to, are we gonna include Bellona, guys? Are we gonna include Bellona? I don't know. I'm actually, this is the first time I haven't included a Guardian, but I'm not gonna include Cabrakan because I just don't think he's a support. Like, I think he's a jungler solo laner. Like, he's not a support, you know? So I'm not going to include Cabrakan, definitely. So I'm not going to include Bellona either. And I haven't played those cards, right? I obviously have played them over the course of my career, the time span, but I don't think either of these guards really make an impact. And regardless, like Cabrakan would just be something like C or something like that. So I don't really think it's worth it, if you get me. So moving on to Cap is not sub. She's like, bye Felicia. Bye Felicia. Yep. Serp. Now Serp is really, really good in ranked. He actually has really good pressure because of his passive, which is fucking broken, by the way. and he does really well. People don't respect the damage. I do also feel like Serb can be a bit hit or miss, if you guys get me. I want to put him, for me, he's somewhere between S- and A+, but just from looking at the guards right now, I would rather play Serb than Amy in rank, probably. So I think Serb is S-. I know he's a way better solo lane again in competitive, but he's S- or A+. He's somewhere in between there. For me personally, I think Serb is really underrated. He has a great big ult, people don't beat it, because people are a bit, like, people are a tiny bit worse in rank, right? So you don't pre-beat the Serb ult. The stun is absolutely huge. He has a really good jump now. He can kind of juke people around. So I think Serb is kind of really good right now. His protection shred and everything, just he has everything going for him. Moving on to Kou-Kun. I'm gonna include Kou-Kun, but I think Kou-Kun is like A. Like probably like A-, actually. Now Kou-Kun was this really big stomping guard by the start of the season 5. And the main reason why Kou-Kun was so broken was because he could get his 2 abilities when he's transformed now, right? But they removed that, and that means that Kou-Kun doesn't have that ability anymore. He's not gonna get both his abilities when he's transformed at level 1, and that means he's just so much worse, because you're not gonna get that for his pink buff now as Kou-Kun. Also, Sprint 2 became a thing, and Sprint 2 is really bad for Kou-Kun, because Kou-Kun kind of wants to take the long fight, right? And Sprint 2 is just forcing that quick fight, and he actually doesn't excel that well when doing that. Yo, thanks, Sen, for everything. Good night. So I think he's A-. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't pick Amy or something if you just want pressure, which is what Kou-Kun brings. I also think Kou-Kun lacks tankiness, and if you want to go like Warrior's Blessing to kind of avoid not being tanky, you're gonna get so far behind in gold. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So yeah. Moving on here, we got. I'm not gonna include Erlang. I haven't played enough Erlang to include him. I definitely think he could be a pretty decent rank support. He'd probably be somewhere around A-, as well. Fafnir. Faf is probably A+ for me. Like Faf is this very, very solid guard that's always gonna do his job, just like Bacchus. His pressure's not amazing. He has a really good late game. Very nice CC. His 2 can work out really well. But for me, Fafnir just lacks that early game. Otherwise, he probably would be S or something. But because he lacks that right now and early game is so relevant, I think he's A+ for me. He's this solid support, just like Bacchus. But I think he's going to be more impactful than Bacchus, especially in ranked, where people have a tendency to just run in a straight line, you know. The disarm, he has everything kind of going pretty well for him. One thing that Fafnir does really well is he gains a lot more gold than other supporters in general, which means he can get his auras online faster, which is really nice. So I'm gonna place him there. The elephant, Ganesha. I think Ganesh for me is like A. Honestly, like Ganesh is pretty good in ranked. Because for the average rank player, you can just get your Phoebe stacked, you can get your Guardian's Blessing stacked because of your passive. The silence is really good, the ult is really good, the free is really good, but he is again, I think he's just this really solid support, but he doesn't really excel at anything, neither does he have like a super big weakness. So I think A just makes a lot of sense for Ganesha, because he's not shit, but you're not gonna be able to be more impactful than you are if you're playing Arch or Serb or Athena or something like that. So I think A for the Ganesha. So Fenrir support, honestly, I know a lot of people have tried Fenrir support, and I'm sorry I can't include that. I know I kind of skipped him last time, but I'm not going to include Fenrir support because I haven't tried that myself. I do, however, think if you can get really good at Fenrir support,
oh yeah,
I'm artificial. Thank you so much for the 11 months resub. Welcome back, man. Almost there for 1 year. So I do think Fenrir support is like the bomb, you know, but I don't know. It could be like S, honestly, if you get really good at it and you can just carry. But I don't know. I haven't played it. So I'm gonna move on to Gep. And now Gep is this. I think Gep honestly is A+ as well, or S-. Gep struggles early game, but the Gep shield is so goddamn good in ranked. So I think Gep just he does really well, right? He's this very basic standard guardian, has a good ult, has a high mobility. He has his 2, and I think Gep is pretty insane late game as well. The question is, can you get to the late game? And if you can get there, I think you can carry with Gep. But I think for me, I think Gep is A+. I don't think he's S-, because he does not do well the first like 5 levels, the first 9 levels, right? When you hit level 9, you're kind of gonna start to be more impactful. Also, Gep does really well with the builds that are out right now, because if you go like double blade build or something, it's gonna be really good for Gep, because he's gonna be able to get his blink on a shorter cooldown, etc. I'm not gonna include Gorn and Hell. Alright, this hurts me, right? Because I have always been the big preacher of Hell, but I just think Hell struggles right now. And she struggles, honestly, because Watcher's Gift is not a thing anymore, and Watcher's Gift was kind of OP for her. You can't buy Sons of Time, you really struggle with the new items that are out there, like, you kind of want to go Thebes as Hell, but you can't really, and the problem I have with Hell is that if you're playing Hell, you're not going to be that relevant early game, right? Like, you're not really going to do anything. You want to get to that point where you have your Lotus Crown, you have your Genji's Guard, and by that time, the enemy support that could be a Gep or something is going to have his Thebes stacked, he's going to have his Sovereignty, he might even be building some magical defense, and also anti-heal in Season 5 is just so much more relevant. It's people do that, like Brawlers, even though it got nerfed, it's really good. Pestilence, even though it got nerfed, it's still really good. Divine got buffed, Toxic Blade honestly also got a buff in my opinion, and anti-heal Ankh is more and more people picking it up, and a lot of guards, like a lot of the meta guards right now have anti-heals in their kit, right? You have Serp, it's the new anti-heal appliant, right? You have Ket, you have Sobek's like super high valued right now, and I think Sobek is like the hardest counter to Hell, and you can always pick Golden into also. I think Hell struggles. I think Hell really struggles. However, if you can get to that point where you're unkillable, you're gonna be able to completely carry your team, but I just don't think you're gonna get this. I mean, I'm gonna put a C. I love you, Hell, but it's not gonna work out. EmilZy just went live. Ooh, he's awake. He's awake. All right. Go on, Hades. I'm not gonna do that. Herc. Herc could be good. I haven't played him enough though. Bats, Isis, Janice support is pretty sick. Thanks for the 2 bits, Insane Angel. Jing, Coley, Khepri. Okay. For me, Khepri is just the worst version of Gep, because they kind of do the same thing. They have really good zone control because they have CC, right? And they kind of make one character unkillable with their peel. And I do think that's really good for rank, because Khepri can just ult the hyper carry and the hyper carry won't die. But Khepri definitely struggles a lot early game, in my opinion. I think he's not strong at all. Before, Khepri was this early game powerhouse because of his passive and his 2, but it's just so bad now, it feels like. And then the biggest problem with Khepri has always been that you're a thick boy, you know? You're a thick boy, so like you're just kind of gonna die, right? Like, if you're ahead with Khepri, it's really nice because you can like body block and stuff. But for me, Khepri is probably A-. I think he gets too punished early game. I think there's a lot of like, just looking here, right? One of Khepri's biggest problem is if he gets interrupted when he wants to ult. And just look at all I've listed here, right? There's Athena, which I've put as S+, Achilles S, Archo. So if they all interrupt, Khepri. Thank you so much for those, big bravo. So yeah, A-. I just don't think I think Ganesha Baggage, you can have a bigger influence on the game than on Khepri. He's a B. I don't think he's a B. I think A- is alright. I think the reason why he's not B is because you can ult your hyper carry, and that is just too good to like pass out on, alright? So moving on, Kumba. I think Kumba's B. I think Kumba's just B. I think Kumba is okay in ranked. I think he's worse in competitive, but my problem with Kumba is he just get kind of farmed. Like, he doesn't really have the best early. Sure, he's annoying, but you need to be you need to be like Mokao level Kumba to be able to have an influence. I think Kumba is hot garbage. And I know Darius, you're gonna disagree with me, but But for me, like, too predictable. Same argument as last time. He has such a long challenge ability. And for me, like, his main source of damage, sure, he does a lot of damage. The miss can be good, but in rank, your team is always gonna like just proc it. I think he's bad. So B for me. I think Khepri's better than Kumba because Khepri can keep your hyper carry alive. Khepri can keep your good rank teammate alive, and I don't think Kumba does that. Kumba 2 then insta kill enemy level 1. I wish, but it doesn't really work like that, sadly. Let's move on here to the kata, the Kusenbo. I think Kusenbo's B as well. I mean, I do think Kumba has the potential to be A plus A, but I just haven't seen it for myself. Kusenbo's B for me. I don't think Kusenbo does very well right now. Phoebes kind of sucks for him. He has a hard time getting that stacked. So in general, I don't think Kusenbo is the way you want to go. Like, his 2 is kind of really good. His ult is sniping you every day with Kumba. Yep, do that please. Kusenbo ult is like super strong, I think, and his 3 is okay. But he's like this average character, and I wouldn't really pick him. Like, he's below average in my opinion. I don't think you're gonna carry with Kusenbo. I'm tempted to put SS Kumba now just so Dardus doesn't snipe me. Let's move on here. Nasha. Now, probably okay, I'm gonna put Nasha on A. The thing with Nasha is she's kind of smacks early game, but now that upgraded sprint is a thing, I think she struggles a lot more. I think you do carry with Nasha. I do think she's this very average assassin warrior you can play. So in my mind, what Nasha does well is she kind of smacks early game, and if you win the early game in rank, you have a really good, like, did I say she? Oh no, he does very well. I always call Nasha she. Oh no, everyone's gonna be angry now in the comments. That's he. Nasha is a he. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I think Nasha, like, to me, Nasha is just this pretty solid early pressure guard, but what she lacks compared to like an Amaterasu is that she doesn't feel that relevant late game. And what she does better than someone like a Kou-Kun is I actually think she pressures better, and I think she has a more like, she has an easier item path that makes her better. So yeah, smash that on. Did I just assume Nasha's gender? Come on, man. I know Nasha's E. So I think he's pretty good, Nasha. A for me, maybe even leaning more towards A minus, but he's okay. He's this kind of stompy guard. Merc, Neef, I'm not gonna include Nem, I'm not gonna include Nike. Haven't actually played Nike. I'm gonna include Nox though. I think Nox smacks. For me, Nox is, he's like A plus or A for me. I think Nox does really well in ranked because people, it's the same argument as Athena. People are really bad at respecting the damage and playing around it. Her ult is kind of insane. She actually doesn't even have that bad pressure in duo at all. Like, she kind of pressures. So I think A plus for me, honestly. Nox does well, man. Like, Nox is underpicked right now. Nox is really undervalued. If you get consistent at hitting your combos, you can completely carry a ranked game. Like, completely. I think Nox is A plus. She's sick. She's not quite Serb Archer level, but she's definitely up there. So that is already tilted off the moon. I definitely think she belongs in A plus. So let's move on beyond the Nox, and she's a monster late game and mid game as well. Odin, like, I think Odin to me is A minus. The problem Odin has is that he's kind of all in or nothing, right? Like, you have your bird bomber, that's kind of it, and then it also needs to be a game where you can actually cage people in, and I think he kind of struggles with that right now. I think a lot of the meta guards has like jumps and stuff. Like, sure, you can catch in tough, but Janice is really prevalent. You can always kind of counter pick Odin as well, which I think struggles. You put Kusenbo next to my boy Kumba, that's the real tilt. So I mean, smack me with it in the ranked a few times. I'll up it for you. But I think Odin has his like times, you know. But I don't know. I just think he belongs here. He belongs here in A minus. He's not quite Kusenbo level. He's not quite Kumba level, you know. But he's down there. I definitely think he's like around this A minus level. Let's move on to let me find. Ooh, I haven't played enough red support to include him, but I honestly feel like red support plays really well. Raiden support is kind of good as well. Ramen support, sorry, I don't think it's that good. It's a cat. Now, I got number 1 Zaket on ranked leaderboards by playing Zaket support in all my games, and I think Zaket support is absolutely nutty in ranked. Why not Nem support? I just haven't played that enough. I don't think she does well. You need pen on Nem, and you can't really do that in a support role. I think Nem tank is really garbage, so I'm not going to include that. For me, Zaket is probably like S minus, like even towards S. I know people are like, oh, she should probably not be there, but I just think Zaket does so well in rank because people don't play around it. Like, you just run around people, and in my opinion, like her poisons do really well. She did get nerfed, so she's like S minus, somewhere between S minus and A plus probably. But to me, Zaket is absolutely insane in ranked. Like, not quite Achilles or Fafnir level at all, but her carry potential is really high. She has the ability to 1v1 anyone. And like, in my opinion, I just think that the ability to take someone out of the fight when you go Zaket support is just so strong. Like, it's really good. So yeah. Her level 1 lane is honestly not that bad. She does 160 damage base with her 1. Like, you smack in lane. Like, really hard. That was a nice voice crack. You smack in lane like super hard. Okay, I'm playing support and ranked. You should pick a Fina according to this tier list. Let's move on to Sobek. Sobek is like it's hard because I think in competitive Sobek's like fucking up here, you know, like, but in ranked you're gonna be a bit more irrelevant because people are kind of bad at following up when you poke and stuff, and people are weird. I think maybe A plus on Sobek, honestly. In my opinion, do you think Sobek is S plus? Damn, I don't know about that. Sobek is S plus in solo, but we're not talking about solo, right? We're talking about supports and ranked, and I just don't think he's S plus. Like, I think he's A plus in my mind. I don't think Sobek support is better than like Archer or Serp or Zaket in rank, you know? So I can't justify it putting it up there. I think A plus is a good place. I think in competitive Sobek support is probably like S, right? But I think he brings a lot of good things to the table, Sobek. He has pretty good laning phase even with his anti-heal. He kind of struggles a bit compared to some of the upper guards in the laning phase, but it's not that bad. He does better in solo as well, which we need to remember. So prefer Sobek in solo, and for that reason I think it's A plus, right? Now, this guard, I thought I was gonna do Terra. Rip. Alright, it's Savannas time. Savannas time. He's A. Savannas has really good pressure. Savannas dies. So he has really good pressure. That's a big plus. He dies. That's a big minus. Savannas is pretty good in rank because people don't do pulls, but I think like Savannas is just he's struggled, honestly. He's not quite Khepri or something like that, but I think he's a decent guard. I think he does his job, but I don't think he does his job to the same level as Skep or Faf or Sobek or something like that. So he struggles, Paul Savannas, and therefore I think he does belong in A. He's not quite A minus because he's always gonna do well because of his 2, his 1, his 3 and everything. So yeah, but Savannas and Hachi in lane, they do kind of smack. He smacks lane, definitely. But if you want to smack lane, I don't see why you wouldn't just pick Zaket, Amy, Achilles, or Archer and then do way more, you know. So yeah, moving on to, I'm not going to include Wukong, Terra. In competitive, I think Terra belongs here. I think Terra is absolutely fucking busted right now. However, because it's ranked, I think Terra belongs here. I think one of Terra's biggest things she's going for her is that she can block the wave at level 1. She can block any of the waves, which means you can adapt your start to blocking the wave. But if you're playing ranked, people don't fucking know how to do that. And for me, that makes her drop 2 tiers. Just the ability to surprise your opposition with a different start, because you can block the wave for 10 seconds with the free. Like, that's really, really strong, but in rank you can't really do that. And that means Terra's early game becomes significantly worse than it is in competitive. And like at least to level 1 and 2, right? As soon as she hits level 3, Terra's just smacking, but her first 2 levels you can actually get invaded and stuff in ranked, and I think that's the only reason why she isn't like S or S+, right? Also, I think people are a bit worse in ranked at following up, but we've talked about her weaknesses now. If she's somewhere between S+ and S, I'm gonna place her in S, but her ult is insane. She has a root, she has a stun, just playing around with the walls and ranked is so OP. The passive, people doesn't respect that. I don't think she's quite a Fafnir level, because she doesn't have that instant, like, the problem with me with Terra has always been that you need to like put in your dash into exploding your free, which kind of exposes yourself a bit. The new ult definitely helps a lot with that. But I don't think she's quite the Fafnir level. I think Fafnir also shines because global ult, right? She's somewhere in between, right? She's somewhere in between. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Frode. So yeah, I think she's there. Like, she's just kind of chilling, you know. She just struggles a bit. Oh no, she's not. She struggles a bit early. Like, she's chilling in S, not quite S+, but she's like super strong. If you can play Terra, play it. It's so good. People in my games want to play Terra team fight. I told them like 7 people, everyone runs away. Yep, sucks. All right, Terra's sick. Maybe even S+. I'm gonna put her S for now. Moving on to Fenrir support is pretty good. Haven't played enough. I'm not a fan of Morrigan support. 4 support could honestly frag a lot. So there's only Xing Chan and Emil left. So Xing, for me, A-. I think Xing is kinda like, he doesn't do well early, right? Like, he's not this early game insane guard. I don't think he does like super well at all. I don't think he's irrelevant. He has pretty good CC, right? Even though his ult is long. I don't think he's like Kusenbo or Kumba level at all. I think he belongs in like A- because he actually does something. He does pretty well into the crit builds right now, and so on. So I think A- is a good place for Xing. He could possibly be. Actually, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do this, okay? Because I think Kumba's actually better than Xing, but I don't think. Yeah, I think I got this wrong, right? Because I don't think Xing is better than. I think Xing is better than Kusenbo, but not better than Yeah, okay, we'll do that. So Xing B, Kumba A-. I'm more happy with that, honestly. So yeah, I think Xing just belongs there. He just lacks stuff right now. Like, he has pretty mediocre CC and that stuff. So Kumba A-. I think that's reasonable. And Xing B, I think that's pretty reasonable as well. So moving on, now we have Emir. This is hard, right? Because for me, Emir is somewhere between A- and A. But I am gonna put Emir in A. And now the reason why Emir goes in A and not in A- is because we gotta look at the other guards as well that are really good right now. And I think the wall does really well into guards like Athena, into guards like Achilles, into guards like Terra, into guards like Archo, into guards like Amaterasu, Gep, Nox, Sobek, Eris, you know, Savannas, Nasha. So I think that's Emir has that going for him. Like, Nox is really good right now. You have a lot of like kind of immobile mages that do really well right now. So I think he's A. I think Emir is lower in competitive play because people punish Emir, but Emir kind of has a tendency to go unpunished when playing in ranked, and he does actually have quite a few counter matchups. So I think that makes him A+. He has good early game pressure. He's really good all around the game with the walls, right? So yeah, Eris and Emir not assist here. I'm doing good official. So I think he's S. I think I'm pretty happy with how this list turned out. Honorable mentions that I didn't include would be like obviously Rip Cabracken, something like 4, you have Mori, Turk, Raven, Bellona, maybe even Chuck support, I don't know. But I definitely think this is my tier list right now when it comes to ranked, right? Like these right here, kind of the cards you want to play, these right here, the cards you kind of want to avoid. Remember, this is based on your impact to your ability to impact the game. It's not based on the guard's like strength or whatever. I just think it's like Nike as well as an honorable mention. Logi support, of course, big fan of that. But I think Athena has a higher impact on the game than someone like Achilles or Terra. And I think if you see that, oh yes, well Zowie has a better kit than Artio. Well, I don't disagree with you, but I think that Artio has the higher chance to have a bigger impact on the game. And I don't disagree with you that I think Zaket support is worse in competitive, but I think Zaket has a higher chance to carry and impact the game than someone like Nasha or Eris, which might be better guards in competitive, right? So Discord is support, I haven't played that, so I'm not gonna include that. Fenrir is also a big one that we didn't include. But I'm really happy with how this turned out, honestly. I think it has the perfect shape as well, you know. I think possible like question marks here for me are, is Terra S or S plus? Does like Serb and Archie belong in S minus? And Kumba, is Kumba higher like everyone tells me? Hades buffs, I don't think Hades is support, you kind of want to go mage. Erlang, not gonna include Erlang. And then it's just a lot of my questions about A, like are these guys just are they just that stable, or do we want to put them somewhere else? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm happy with how it turned out. Remember, this is my opinion. I'm not trying to force my opinion onto you. I'm merely trying to give you guys some advice on what I think is good, and hopefully you guys can use that and test it. So that's pretty much it for this tier list. I hope you guys liked this tier list video. If you did, again, thank you so much for all the bits today, guys. If you did like this video, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and press the bell. And until next video and next tier list, peace out.